And on this episode of Overpaying for Garbage, we have this article from Fandom Wire. David Cornsweat's Superman Legacy will cost Warner Brothers $64 million more than the Justice League. James Gunn responds to the latest DC rumors. The movie's going to cost $364 million. Are you out of your mind? Godzilla Minus One might be one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Probably top 5 for me. Less than $15 million. Superman Legacy, $364 million. Are you crazy? Where is the budget of this movie going? These actors cannot cost that much money. And if they do, hire cheaper actors. That's why you have David Cornsweat. Because you have Henry Cavill not at Henry Cavill prices. The whole point of hiring a rather unknown actor is to get him at a cheaper price. But no. James Gunn knows more. DC knows more than us. They know what it takes to make a successful movie, don't they? Let's look at 2023 DC movies. All flops. All losses of about $100 million or more. Not a single profitable one. And this is what you're banking your existence on? You're banking on James Gunn, who the only reason he's still in Hollywood today is because he made a movie starring Chris Pratt. That's it. Everything from Guardians on, terrible. Let's continue with the article. The DC head and filmmaker James Gunn is gearing up for the launch of the new DCU with shows like Creature Commandos. What the hell is Creature Commandos, and why do I care about this? Imagine for a second you are given the keys to DC. You are now running this company. First thing you do, Creature Commandos. Hubris is the best word to describe James Gunn at this point. He doesn't know what a good idea is anymore. With Gunn's DCU projects gaining momentum, recent reports have surfaced regarding the film's estimated budget, suggesting it could become one of the most expensive films ever made. What are you spending the money on? This isn't Avatar. You're not creating a world where 90% of the movie is CGI and motion capture. David Cornsweat's a real person. Just put him in a suit. The other day I was watching the old Superman movies, one with Christopher Reeves. I was watching the second one. Fantastic movie. Everything's just wire work and practical effects. Great movie. You don't have to overflate the budget to make something good. If anything, Godzilla Minus One has shown you all. Passion is better than budget. Unbelievable. When this thing flops, and it's gonna flop, there's no way. To make the money back from this movie, you have $364 million. In order to make a profit, you're gonna have to do more than double the budget just to break even. Do you have any idea what the marketing budget for this movie is going to be? It's going to be astronomical. Remember a time when The Little Mermaid was coming out, and every time you opened up your eyes? Remember when The Little Mermaid was coming out? Every time I went on my computer, or my TV, or my phone, I got ads for The Little Mermaid. It was everywhere. And the marketing budget for that was north of $100 million. Some say $140 million reportedly. $100 million is foreplay for this movie. $100 million, they'd be lucky to get away with that for the marketing budget. It's going to be well north of that. Anytime you look at a screen, you're going to see this movie being promoted to you. There's no way. There's no way they're not going to spend that much on the marketing budget. It's gonna blow this out of the water. They are going to have to make $1 billion just to start to make their money back on this movie. It's going to be bad. And people keep saying like, oh, James Gunn has all these other movies planned and coming out. No, he doesn't. If this movie fails, I've said this so many times, I feel like a broken record here. If this movie fails, there is nothing that's going to come out. You think Creature Commandos is going to be the greatest show ever made? The greatest movie? I'm not even going to care to look it up, though. Who gives a shit about it? Who in the right... If you name DC, you could probably name 50 heroes and villains before you even sniff whatever the hell Creature Commandos is on any internet list. Out of your mind, James Gunn. Out of your mind, DC. Can you imagine being this ridiculous? Can you imagine trusting this man with your company, to the keys to your company, and then you see this as a budget? This was approved by human beings? Ridiculous. Now, it seems like this might just be an internet rumor. Apparently, it is not confirmed, and James Gunn even is quoted in saying, when he's talked about the budget, he says, absolutely not. How in the world do you think they know what our budget is? The budget for the upcoming DC film, however, is yet to be revealed. I think that's a very accurate assumption, because he didn't say what it is. And wouldn't you want to say what it is? If someone comes to me and is like, hey, World War Joe, the budget for this movie is reportedly $364 million. Is that true? I'm like, whoa, in what world do you think they're giving me that much money? We're not even close to that. We're maybe like 150 at most at this point. Just say something like that, though. He gave no answer? No ballpark? No anything? Just, hey, you're wrong, and that's it? Does that sound credible at all? James Gunn, who just says the most ridiculous things on a daily basis, now all of a sudden, you're just tight-lipped about everything? No, James, doesn't work that way. I think you're lying. I think you're lying, and DC is notorious for lying these days. Like with Aquaman 2, okay? Remember how the director said, oh yeah, we're not going to get rid of Amber Heard's role. She's a key part of this movie. And then the boycott started. It's like, oh yeah, we reduced her role down to only 5 minutes. Yeah, we heard what the fans are saying. And then the movie comes out, it's like, no, she's in the movie the entire time, and she's a pivotal piece of the movie. You lied to us. And remember when The Flash was coming out, and all these commercials that were telling us, and all these high executives were saying, it's the greatest superhero movie ever made? Hollywood lies constantly. They're all liars. They're all spinning every story. That's what they do constantly. You're telling me that James Gunn is just saying, no, the budget's not this, and then what, runs away? No, not this man with his hubris. He would have stood there and told us exactly how much this movie costs to make before running back. And then the article goes on to say, so far, Marvel's Avengers movies have the highest budgets in the superhero genre, with Age of Ultron taking the top spot with a reported cost of exceeding $444 million. If that's true, that's an expensive price tag, but I'm pretty sure they made that money back. And also, it was a great movie, so I could kind of see them doing it. Ah, yes, here I scrolled down a little bit and I see where the budget went. The DC Studios co-CEO expressed his excitement in the caption of this post saying, after the table read what Superman cast, Eve, Mr. Terrific, Superman/Clark, Otis, Lex, producer Peter Safran, Jimmy, Metamorpho, Lois, Hawkgirl, me, Guy, the engineer, all together for the first time. What a wonderful day. This is where the budget went. You filled it too much, James. You filled it to its brim. And then you kept filling it some more. It's a Superman movie, James. Just spend it on Superman. This is my theory. I spoke to a couple people online about this during the comment section of my other video of Superman Legacy. I think this is all just jingling keys in front of the audience. That's all James Gunn is these days. Cram your stuff with jokes, cram your stuff with big action, cram your stuff with soundtrack, and just hope that no one actually pays attention to the story. They are having this cast for one reason and one reason only. This man is a hack. And he's like, hey, people love superheroes. I'm going to cram this movie with as many superheroes as I could possibly imagine to do. You don't do that for the first movie, James. You do it for Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame. You're not cramming all these people in Thor. It doesn't work that way. Can you imagine the hubris of this man? That again, this is his legacy. His legacy is just cram everything into a movie and hope the audience just goes along with it. Look at the bright colors, everyone. Hey, look, Mr. Terrific here. Who the fuck's beating off to Mr. Terrific being in this movie? This is what you're hanging your hopes on, Mr. Terrific? If I took 100 people that know what DC is and say, hey, tell me the origins of Mr. Terrific, who the hell knows who he is? Then it goes on to say, Superman Legacy is set to star David Cornsweet, known for starring in Pearl and the Politician. That's why they got this guy. No one knows what the hell this is. Pearl and the politician. Is he Pearl? Is he the politician? I don't know. Nobody knows. That's why you hired him, because he's cheap Henry Cavill. He's diet off of Wish Henry Cavill. So therefore, you could have saved money on him. But instead, you said, hey, you know what? He looks like Henry. Let's just pay him like he's Henry and make the movie as big as humanly possible to distract from the fact that he's not Henry. So ends another day about me yelling about Superman Legacy. You know why? Because articles like this keep coming out. How come no one at that studio could just shut up? Here's what would have been the best idea from DC, okay? Announce that Superman Legacy is coming out. Say, okay, we had Superman here. Here's David Cornsweet. We casted Lois. We casted Lex. And say nothing else. Give us nothing. But these people over there, they're just desperate for clickbait. They're just desperate for impressions on Twitter X. They're just desperate for impressions on Facebook. They're just desperate to brag about at these Hollywood parties of all the stuff they have going on. That's all these people are at this point. They're just overflated egos, no talentless hacks, and that's it. They can't do an original idea to save their lives. And that's the problem here. Superman Legacy, the more I read about this, the more I see this is going to be an absolute bust of a movie. It's going to flop. Creature Commandos, in what world? Just think for a second again. I would rather a Mr. Terrific movie or a Mr. Terrific TV show before Creature Commandos. At least I remember this guy's existence in the cartoon Justice League Unlimited show. But there you have it, folks. Another day, me complaining about Superman Legacy. I think again, it's gonna flop. It's gonna flop. I thought it was gonna flop with a budget of $200 million. Dune 2 just came out, okay? Had a budget of $190 million. It's gonna clear $1 billion. It's gonna absolutely clear $1 billion in no time. It's gonna be one of the most profitable movies of the year. I think the budget's real, because where the hell would someone have gotten that number from? And also, again, you asked James Gunn what the budget of this movie is. He just said, no, it's not that. Can you imagine them giving me that much money? Yes, James. I think they would. You know why? Because DC is desperate. And there's something worse, I think, looming over DC at this point, though. I think there's something even worse that they fear. More than $100 million flops. This right here. 2034 for Superman, 2035 for Batman, 2036 for the Joker, 2037 for Wonder Woman. When these copyrights come out, we are going to get the greatest superhero movies the world has ever seen. And they know it. Imagine for a second if Gary from Nerdrotic decides to say, you know what, it's the year 2034. The Superman copyright is up. I might think about writing a Superman movie. It'll be the greatest Superman movie the world has ever seen. Better than the Christopher Reeves one. Better than Superman Returns. I'm actually a huge fan of Superman Returns. I think Brandon Routh might be my favorite Superman of all time, though. I have a video that I'm going to really defend that point coming up in a couple weeks, though. I will be sure to let you know about it. But you're telling me that Gary from Nerdrotic, who absolutely lives for this stuff, you don't think he'd take an opportunity to make a Superman movie if he had the chance to? You don't think Gary, with his channel that's making God knows how much every single day, wouldn't put maybe a couple of bucks into making a Superman movie? It'll be the greatest Superman movie you've ever seen. Next one, greatest Batman movie you've ever seen. Joker movie, greatest Joker movie you've ever seen. Wonder Woman, greatest Wonder Woman movie you've ever seen. And that's what should freak DC out more than $100 million flops. That people that are not associated with DC are going to take your products that you spent a lifetime making them into the greatest superheroes of all time. You guys spent the last couple years destroying everything. And in a short amount of time, people like Gary are going to be able to get their hands on these properties and destroy you. They will absolutely kill you in the box office. And if Eric July can make millions and millions of dollars crowdfunding his Isnt books, Gary can make 10 times that amount crowdfunding to make a Superman movie. That should freak DC out a hell of a lot more, and that day is coming. And it's not getting any better for them. And you know, as soon as these copyrights come out, DC is dead. What do you guys think about that?
There's no good, only bad and worse. Living in this twisted curse. Messy plans, a dangerous game. The world won't ever be the same. We're not heroes, not the ones you seek, but in this fight, it's the strong, not the meek.